Hey everyone, thanks for joining. I know a lot of questions. When's our next video? Kurt back from India. So of course we'll go over how that was as well as talk about a few other things. But Kurt, first things first, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm surviving jet lag, and Jace has had deli belly when he was over there, so he's now recovered from that.
Ooh, okay. Well, hey, good to hear you guys are getting better and you're surviving the jet lag. But first things first, I gotta ask, how was it? You were there
Yeah, it
for
was
a
a
couple
great trip. I
weeks.
mean, it couldn't have been better timed, really. I mean, it wasn't really timed, but there's just a huge amount of stuff that's happening both within our company, within the broadcast industry in general, within the whole fast TV and smart TV environment in general, within the advertising area in general. So it was kind of like, if I'd known all that was going on last week or a week and a half that we were there, I would have planned my trip based on all that activity. It just sort of coincided with our trip over there. But I think, kind of the highlights. Number one, look, obviously there was a lot of stuff that was going on around the Big Four's departure from free dish, around our own rating spike. There's a lot of questions about ratings. We've averaged about 41 and a half GRP, where in the first 6 months we averaged 30, or last 6 months rather, we averaged about 35. So we're about 20% overall. Truth is, we expected it to be higher than that. But we also have been experimenting with a lot of stuff, as I've spoken about in the past before. I mean, a lot of people won't remember that our peak on free dish, actually, we hit about 2 months after we went on to free dish. And so there's still a lot of tweaking that goes on. There's also a lot of questions in the television business right now about bark and the numbers and crediting free dish appropriately, et cetera. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening that's being discussed in the industry in terms of what's happening with the numbers. The other thing that was a little bit different than when this happened before is that IPL, which is the big cricket league there, started. And so whenever cricket goes in full, like when it's full like season for the cricket league, those 2 months, general entertainment viewership tends to drop because everybody's watching cricket. It's like the whole country stops and all people do is watch cricket. So there's a little bit of that. The net of it all is that we're happy with the lift that we've gotten in ratings, and we think we can go a lot further. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now as we speak to bolster and improve our GRP. We're still above where we thought we would be at this time of the year, and that obviously relates to expectations of being slightly above revenue-wise as well. But we also think there's a lot of improvement that we can continue to get, and that's kind of across the board for all the free-to-air channels in India right now.
Yeah, I think good point saying you guys reached your, kind of record breaking was 2 months after you initially got on. And I know you guys are just testing some stuff. I know there's some questions I was going to allude to how the first couple weeks since the kind of big four got, placed. So great.
Well, they've all fallen off the cliff. They've all fallen off the cliff because, once they leave free dish, it really affected them. That combined with IPL. But the thing is that we feel, and when I say we, I'm talking about all of us that are what are so-called free-to-air channels in India. We all believe we should have ratings that are greater than they are right now. So no one's 100% sure about what the why is behind that. There's a lot of work going on by all the free channels that are on free dish right now to sort through that and figure that out. I mean, we were one of the biggest beneficiaries for sure, but we think we could do a lot better. The other channels, Dongle, some of the movie channels that expected to get much higher ratings did not. So there's a little bit of a weird thing going on right now, which isn't, completely uncommon when these kind of changes happen. But I would say it's positive news, but we feel we can still do better. So that's kind of that's the way I would characterize it. Is we think we can
You're
still
seeing a
grow.
benefit and hoping there's going to be a bigger benefit going forward.
Yeah, we think the benefit can continue to grow from where we are today, so that we're back solidly in the 50s instead of just the 40s. So that's what we're really looking for. As far as and there's a lot of questions we get as well on Q. was just going to say Mubarak because of Eid Mubarak. Marathi, sorry. I am jet lagged, I guess. So Q Marathi, we'll get our first ratings that will be publishable. I believe it's the week of May. I want to say 16th. I might be off on that exactly, but mid-May. So we'll start publishing Marathi ratings with BARC. There's a whole, I think I might have explained this before, there's a whole watermarking process and other things. So you don't go out and then just immediately get rated. It takes about 8 weeks for all that stuff to go through till you start to release that and all the boxes are properly being read, et cetera. But we're expecting mid-May we'll start to have Marathi readings. Our sense is that things are going well. And as I mentioned on the call from India, we've started to really push some marketing around the Marathi channel. So we're excited about, seeing what happens there as well, obviously.
Yeah, no, awesome. Yeah, I know we're seeing a ton of questions. I'm sure we'll do a little Q&A video after people get the debrief from India. One thing I wanted to cover though is you guys did put out, more revenue kind of updates, officially audited, record-breaking quarter. Again, what a crazy year last year was, and now seeing some. You're saying you're seeing rating growth, so I don't want to allude to maybe some other things coming, but knock on wood that we see that continue. But your year over year, really kind of showing the before free dish to now on free dish, an incredible 500% growth year over year. Anything you want to kind of talk about there? I'm sure you were getting some questions. Probably.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, good news, at least from my perspective, is that we completed our conversion to a fiscal year. Which I'm really happy about. I've been wanting to do that for 5 years. It's still a little bit confusing, and it was even confusing in our financial release in MDMA because we had to, again, I've mentioned, I think before, a stub period of 6 months. It's confusing as hell, to be honest, but the reality is now it's done. And so we are officially in a year-end format. So we'll be reporting Q1 at the end of May. As I spoke about when we did our live investor call. So end of May is when we'll have Q1 2022, meaning calendar Q1 of fiscal 2022. I think the biggest thing really is that while there's cyclical stuff and Q4s are always the biggest quarters and Q1s are always the lightest quarters, we're actually going to have massive growth, of course, over what we had on a year-over-year basis, and we expect that to continue throughout the year. I'm not giving official guidance yet. There's a lot of different reasons for that because I'm not really ready to. Part of it's because we don't even have ratings, for example, on the Marathi channel. We don't have as solid revenue projections as I'd like to have right now on the fast channels on Kahanya and Comedy Stan. So I don't want to be stupidly, frankly, undershooting, sandbagging and undershooting where we think we're going to go. And by the same token, I don't want to overshoot that. So because we've been moving so fast and launching so much new stuff, we're literally still in the process of retooling and tweaking, I guess I'll say, our financial projections. With that said, there's going to be, dramatic growth from quarter to quarter and year over year, certainly between what we did last year. We did a little over $13 million in revenue in total in last year. We expect that to grow quite dramatically over the course of 2022. And we also think that, we're in a position to really leverage that to create some of the things that we started in 2021, which was the integration of Chatterbox with our ad team here. We had great meetings with the CEOs of 3 of the largest agencies when I was over there last week. And we think the integration of broadcast advertising all the way through to influencer marketing, we're in the right place at the right time for that. So there's a lot of excitement about that. And I think a big thing that I haven't spoken a lot about that you'll hear me talk about more as we go forward is our data. We're getting a lot of data, not just from BARC, but we're now getting data from our FAST TV viewership, which is growing really fast. And so parsing that data, looking at the value of that for advertisers and audience demographics and all the rest of it, we see a lot of huge opportunity for us that's happening there. So you'll hear as the year goes on and as we go into 2023, we're going to be leveraging heavily the value of the data that we're gathering from all these platforms and its value to advertisers, and think that'll be a big driver in 2023 and beyond in terms of how we monetize things.
Yeah. Well, all sound like amazing things and crazy updates coming this year.
Well, I
So it
mean,
sounds good. Those
there's
are
a
all great
company
questions. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a company I was just going to mention that people won't know here necessarily called I believe they pronounce it Verse, VERSE in India. They have about a $5 billion market cap right now. They have a publication, online publication called Daily Hunt, and a TikTok style app called Josh that we actually work with. They're trading at about 100 times revenue right now. Their valuation is literally about 100 times revenue. And a lot of what's driving that is their data collection and the value of that data collection. I think, I talk a lot of how we're so super undervalued. I mean, if we were valued at the same level that they are, we'd be trading at, $1.5 to $2 billion in terms of our valuation. It's crazy. So we're looking at a lot of the things that are happening there, a lot of things that are going on in India, a lot of the advantages that we have in terms of the data collection and data mining that we're able to do. And so that's something we spent a lot of time talking about while I was over there last week as well, and something that you'll see me putting more emphasis on as we go forward.
Yeah. Well, interesting. Well, these are all great points. I think a lot of great updates, and sounds like India was a great trip. Of course, gonna do a Q&A video. We do them often. Want people to definitely suggest any questions that they'd like answered below. But Kurt, you brought up a lot of great things. Sounds like it's gonna be a crazy year. I know we've been saying that, and looking forward to seeing those first ratings from the new channel.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we think, look, the 2021 was the breakout year. 2022 is the year that we're solidifying our base and growing everything across the board, from our influencer business to our broadcast business to our new digital channel business. And we're still on the hunt for M&A opportunities. So I had a number of meetings on that front while I was over there. Nothing locked in yet, but some things that we think would be really exciting for us to get into. So no rest for the weary. I mean, if anybody saw the live call from India, which by the way is available on our website. So if you go to the investor section, you can see that. I think it rings through that we've got a really strong group of people in the company right now, and everybody's working around the clock because we realize that so much about everything in this business is being in the right place at the right time, and we think we're in a really, really positive spot in India in terms of where we are with the business right now. So it's full steam ahead and expected massive growth going forward.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, amazing update, Kurt. Thanks so much for taking the time. Again, looking forward to that Q&A video that we'll do, but hope you get over the jet lag, and we'll chat again soon.
Will do. Go Leafs.
Perfect. Chat soon.